Photographers, this is not clickbait. A professional photo effects app is completely free forever. There's no subscription, no credit card, but there is a deadline. ON1 Effects 2025 is currently free through January 12th, 2026. This is normally a paid product, and honestly, it's one of my favorite tools in my editing toolkit. When I saw this offer pop up, I had to make a quick video about it. This is a free, forever license. There's no credit card, no subscription. It's just a one-time free download. Even if you're not sure you'll use it right away, there is zero risk here, so I highly recommend grabbing it while you can. And a quick heads up before we dive in. If you're watching this video after January 12th, 2026, the free offer may have ended, but I'm still going to show you what ON1 Effects can do, because this may help you decide whether it's worth using or buying in the future. ON1 Effects 2025 is for pretty much everyone. Portrait photographers, landscape photographers, event shooters, or hobbyists who want unique looks quickly. It also works great if you're a Lightroom or Photoshop user and want powerful effects without a complicated workflow. At a high level, ON1 Effects gives you one-click effects and stylized looks. You can add texture, color, and mood, and you're not locked into applying effects globally. There are masking tools so you can apply changes exactly where you want them. You can even do things like sky swaps with a ton of built-in options. And yes, all of this is included in the free version. Just remember, this offer needs to be claimed by January 12th, 2026. Once you claim it and download it, it's yours to keep forever. There's an affiliate link in the description that'll take you directly to the download. Remember, you're not buying anything or signing up for a subscription. For full disclosure, if you decide to upgrade or purchase the full ON1 suite within 60 days, I'll receive a small commission, but there's no cost to you. There's absolutely no requirement to purchase anything. You're getting a full license with no expiration, so there's really no downside here. All right, enough talking about it. Let me jump over to the computer and I'll show you how ON1 Effects actually works and why so many photographers love this tool. Okay, let's jump into ON1 Effects 2025. This is the interface you'd see when you first sign into the program. There'll be a couple other windows that pop up, but this is the main editing window. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to click on Edit Photo. And I got some demo photos set up and ready to go here. So let's start with kind of a goofy portrait photo. Let me grab this photo of myself and show you what we can do in here. So this is your main interface. When you open it up, you can just see it's pretty much like any other traditional photo editor. Up here in the top left, you've got your levels, you've got info on the camera, any history of what you've done, and then of course you can take snapshots as you go through and edit the photo. So it's kind of a nice ability to move forward and backward in time. You have the ability to do local effects. So you would just click on effects and then click adjustment. And then this is your masking properties that pop up. Now remember, ON1 Effects is not designed to be a replacement for Lightroom or ON1's own photo raw software. This is kind of icing on the cake type of software, but it does allow you to do localized adjustments after the fact. So let's just jump into the effects portion of this. What you see over on the left side is a lot of preset options that you can just dive right into. For example, we could just click on the gritty portrait and you'll see right away we've got gritty portrait 1 through 12. And if I hover over them and you look at the main screen, you can see it's automatically making those adjustments. So I can kind of quickly preview those, just like in Lightroom. There's a lot of options there to play with those. If I want to apply anyone, I just simply click on it. And now you'll see a window pop up on the right side of the screen, and this is where I can make adjustments to this particular filter. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the GP9 filter, and you'll notice over here 2 new windows popped up. We have a dynamic contrast window, and then there's also a black and white window. So what you can see is that's actually like a stack of filters. We got 2 placed at one time. I can turn off the dynamic contrast and you can see the change it makes there. If I turn off the black and white, it's basically a black and white overlay that's kind of desaturating the image. If I turn that back on again, you can see I can adjust the opacity on this particular layer. I can make it brighter or darker, adjust the tone. There's so many settings inside of each of these filters that you can play around with. I'm going to go ahead and remove both of these for right now. In fact, if you want to just reset everything the way it was, you can hit the little down arrow or the circular arrow in the corner and remove all settings, and that'll take us back. Let's go back and let's try the black and white faded matte. So in here we can just try, let's try the BM6. So you can see how that looks on this image right now. So again, when I clicked on that, that brought up a split tone window, it brought up a tone enhancer window, and it brought up a black and white window. And all of these are automatically applied. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of those. Let's say I wanted to apply a mask just to my face, for example. I could click on this little magic wand icon right here. It's called Super Select. And now I can click right on my face, just hover over it. You'll see it turns blue. If I click on that, it's essentially a mask now. And you can see when I hover over these settings or the different filters, it's applying it just to my face at this point. So if you want to make yourself look like you've got the flu, you know, Light and Airy 1 seems like a great choice for that. Again, I'm just going to reset everything back the way it was. I'm going to show you one of my other favorite settings in here. This is under filters. I'm going to go all the way back. So you have filters and presets. Under filters, I'm going to click vignette. And one of the filters I love the most is the Big Softy filter. So it's just a built-in vignette. It just does a really nice job of blocking out those edges. And then with a little adjustment, we can like bring this right in. So it's just highlighting my face. I use the Big Softy filter all the time on all kinds of images. So just another one to check out. But there's so many different ways you can play around with the different vignette tools in here. Let's take a look at another image. Click on Edit Photo. And let's look at this image of a swimming pool I had to photograph. And we'll kind of go back to where we were. So there are some AI adaptive presets that are included with this. Let's play with the sky. This is a really dull sky in this particular image. There was not much going on. So if I click on the sky, I can choose a few different options through here. Let's just go ahead and hover over some of these. So this is the warm, cool glow. Here's tobacco, orange center, lavender corner. So you can see it does a really nice job of blending those skies in. If you want to see what those would look like bigger, there's a nice way to do this. So you've got all these options here. If you just click these 4 little windows, it'll pop it up really large. I make the thumbnails a good bit larger so you can actually see what it looks like. It's a really cool way to be able to preview the thumbnails without having to scroll over it if you want to do it really quick. Let's say we want to take this water and do something with the water, maybe change it up a little bit. So one of the things we can do here is click on Effects. We can click on Add Filter. And if you hover over here, Apply with Mask to, we can actually select water. You can see it does a pretty good job of identifying where water is. And then we could just jump right over here and pick an appropriate filter. Let's go to Color Enhancer and let's choose Increase Color. And right away, that'll jump it up. We can bump the saturation slider up a little bit if we want to really take it up there. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to go in here and clean up the concrete, but you can see there where the mask spilled over a little bit, but it took that up. If we wanted to desaturate that, bring that color back down, you know, maybe we don't want to focus on that, we can certainly pull that back. Just a quick way to make a nice little change to an image like this. Going back under the filters section again, we can go to photo filters. In here, you can see we've got a wide range of different traditional filters that you could use. Let's try the neutral density graduated filter. We could put that on here. And we could actually adjust it then. If you come over to the right side, you can see we have top half fast. You can do left, right. You can do bottom half 2/3 slow. So just something fun to play with. It's a really quick after the fact way of applying a neutral density graduated filter. Another thing I love to use ON1 for is borders. Sometimes I just want to put a quick border on an image and not have to think about it too hard. So this is a fantastic way to do that. Let's say I want to do this 35 dirty warm filter. You click that and boom, there you've got your filter in place, and then we can tweak that. This is where the gallery view comes in really handy. We can just kind of take a quick look and say, hey, what borders would look good? Let's play with this border right here. And you can just see just so quickly we can go in and experiment with different looks and just say, okay, what would make this image pop out a little bit better? Then of course you have the ability to adjust it over here. There's just so many different ways you can play around with images inside ON1. It's just absolutely phenomenal. We'll just do a few little more experiments with this one. We'll go into presets. Let's take a look at the vivid landscapes. Let's see if there's any that would just make this winter scene really pop out. Kind of like this, the VL8. This kind of gives you that old school, like 35mm slide film 1980s look. We could go ahead and say, let's add another filter. This, we'll just put it onto all, and let's do textures. So if we wanted to, like, we just drop this particular texture right on here. I want to grab this emulsion filter right here. Just playing around with the emulsion filter, I can dial this back just a little bit, kind of make it look like this image was, you know, this was an old postcard or old slide film. Kind of makes it look like, you know, an old damaged photograph. We could take it a step further, and let's add filter. Let's do all. Let's go ahead and go to vignette, and let's get my friend the big softy out there to really enhance that. And we could even take it a step further if we wanted to put a little border on there, just like we did before. Put a nice, let's put 120 film, dirty film border on there. And so there you go. Now we've got, you know, something that really looks like an old slide from the 1980s out there. So that's just a little bit of what you can do with ON1. I did not scratch the surface on this. This is just a, you know, a kind of a quick overview. I just wanted to show you how much fun it can be. Go in here, kind of poke around, play around with the images, and just see what you can get out of this. I would encourage you to go out and just download this software and just start playing with it. You'll have a great time. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. I try to share tools, workflows, and tips like this to help professionals work faster and get better results without unnecessary complexity. I'll see you in the next video.